All right, welcome back everyone to Heroes and Villains HQ. This is part 5 of building the ultimate Star Wars display case. And in today's video, all of the parts are gonna come together in the final product. So really excited to share this with you. Before we jump in, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons down below. But enough said, let's build this display case. All right, again, as always, if you haven't checked out the other videos on my channel for this series, I'll leave the playlist above. Definitely go check them out. In part 4, I showcased all of the different pieces of hardware we'll need to bring this case together. So check out that video so you can see the full part list there. But in this video, I'm gonna take you through some time lapses of the different steps of pulling these pieces together and getting it to the final product. And by the end of the video, you'll see it on the wall. So let's jump into the time lapses and see this thing come together. Okay, very quickly in this time lapse, I'm attaching the hinges to just the door frame currently. The reason I'm not attaching it to the entire case is because I still need to glue the glass to the door frame. So I'm just measuring out the hinges on the main frame, attaching them to the door, and then I'm going to glue the glass to the door and then eventually pull all of the parts together. Okay, so where are we in the case building process? So we're gonna let that dry and then get it into the case and then measure out the dimensions for the action figures. But what I'm doing right now is I'm getting the last of the hardware put together. So I've gone ahead and put my 4 hinges into the door. So this is good. I'm gonna put glue on and get the glass glued to this tonight and let it dry overnight. The other hardware that I'm going to put into the case now is just the support beam here that I have extra from IKEA. I'm just going to put it in one of the corners to hold up the door. And I'm also going to put in these magnetic catches. I got a 2 count from Lowe's, so I'll share those as well in the description below. And I'm going to put them right on the outside here for the door. So that the door magnetically catches and holds nice and tight. So I'm going to get those on. And then the last thing I'm going to get on is the L brackets for the shelves. But I can only get these on once I get the backdrop in and dimensions drawn for the distance between each shelf. I know I can roughly fit about 7 given the just under 4-inch size of the figures, but obviously we have some figures that are larger than that, right? Grievous, Wookiee. Also, I have things like the Darth Vader transformation that I'm gonna wanna have on display as well. So I need to measure out exactly where these are gonna end up in the overall case so that I can get the shelves properly placed in there. But yeah, that's where we stand right now. We're making really good progress. I probably am gonna have this done in the next day or two, given the dry time for the glue. But other than that, we're almost finished. So this is really exciting. Can't wait to get it finished up and on the wall. So in this time lapse, I'm gonna put the backing on the case. Now you don't need to attach the backing in any way at this point in time, because eventually you're going to put the L brackets in the case and that'll attach right through the backing and secure the backing. So right now I'm just cutting 1.5 inches off the bottom of the backing so it fits and then placing it there. All right, this time lapse is a little longer as I am measuring out all of the shelves and the L brackets. Obviously for your case, you can measure them out however you want them. If you're doing 6-inch figures, 3 3/4 inch figures, anything, you can do it however you want. Now, I was able to add 6 shelves to my case, and the reason for that is I didn't do exactly the same distance in between each shelf, because obviously with the Revenge of the Sith figures, you have characters like Wookiees, General Grievous, the rebuild Darth Vader that are larger than 3.75 inches. So the bottom shelf is 4.5 inches tall, and then the rest of the shelves are about 4 inches tall each. Those are rough measurements, but all you have to do here is, measure out the inside of the case, make sure your figures fit, attach the L brackets to the side, and then glue down the shelves to those L brackets. So It seems complicated, but it is very simple. And this time lapse, you can see all of those steps come together. Okay, and there it is, drying off. So we have 6 total shelves, 7 if you include the bottom here. And I've gone ahead and screwed the L brackets into the sides there. And I have glued the shelves to each of the brackets because they're far too thin to screw in. Now I use clear glue on almost all of the shelves except for the bottom one here. I used the other glue that I had already and I realized that kind of looks bad. Luckily it's the bottom shelf, you won't be able to see it. But I used clear glue on the rest of them. I've also screwed in my magnets to the sides, and then this is just the extra piece that'll help hold the edge of the door. So what's left to put together here, I just have to put on the fasteners on the back, and then I have to put the magnets on the door, and then I have to put the door hinges on the main case here. And then the door right now is inside with the glass down gluing. So it's almost done, we're almost finished. So yeah, really exciting. Okay, obviously I didn't take a video of the glass gluing and adhering to the door frame overnight, but very simply I put the glue on the door frame, placed the glass over top of it, and let it sit for about 15 hours and let that really secure tightly. And then after that, I brought the door out to the garage and attached the hinges to both the main frame. And so now the case is done, right? And then the last thing I did was attach those magnets by just giving it about 6 inches off the top and bottom. So here it is in all its glory on the wall. It looks great, and I'm so happy that this thing is finally complete. Obviously, it's missing the figures. So stay tuned for the finale a couple weeks from now where you'll see this entire display case filled with Revenge of the Sith action figures. As for the display case itself, there was one final modification I made to it. I grabbed a 10-foot LED strip and placed it around the inside. So this will help illuminate the inside of the case, the figures, and the backdrop, which was really important to me. As for the case's function itself, the magnets are super tight and keep this thing together very nicely. You can just see, looks great on the inside. Obviously here you can see how it's glued. It looks a little messy, but it's on the inside, so it's not gonna hurt anybody. But other than that, you got great space on the inside for figures. You can stack these up. The shelves are fully secured, no problems. So I really hope you enjoyed this series and seeing it come together. And I hope this inspires you to build your own display case as well. So again, stay tuned for the finale to see all the action figures in my display case, all the action figures in my dad's Kenner display case. And in the finale, I'm gonna give a full breakdown on everything that was used. I'll give you links to every single product so you can buy all the products and get started on your own. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like button, subscribe button, notification button, and of course, I'll see you in the finale.